Greetings, people of YouTube. Ducking Creepers here, and you have no idea what pains I have gone to bring you this video. This is like my fourth take trying to get Fraps to record this correctly. It doesn't like recording Google Chrome. It really doesn't. So anyways, this is going to be a quick episode of Pokemon X and Y explaining to you guys what the fairy type is. Because I've already gotten several messages since I started doing X and Y videos 2 days ago, asking me what the heck the fairy type is. Actually, I don't even need these two tabs, because everything is on this page. So, anyways, the fairy type is the new type introduced in Generation 6. And as far as weaknesses and resistances go, you can see the table right here. It is not very effective on fire, poison, and steel types. It's super effective on dark, dragon, and fighting. And defensively, it resists fighting, bug, and dark type attacks. And it's weak to steel and poison type attacks. And did I say resist bug? I don't know. And it is totally immune to dragon type. Look at that, ×0. That is amazing. You have no idea how great it is as a metagame player to see something that can just laugh in the face of outrage sweepers. That is probably the most game-changing aspect of the fairy type, is its immunity to dragon. Because now outrage sweepers are going to be afraid to use outrage, because if the opponent still has a fairy type left in the game, that fairy type can get a free switch while it's outraging. And then it can proceed to set up on the helpless dragon. That's a weird statement, a helpless dragon. Considering how dragons have dominated the metagame for the past 2 generations. I find it interesting how Nintendo has this trend of if a type is overpowered in a given generation, like Psychic was in Generation 1, the next generation, they make a type that is totally immune to it. And that's how they balance it out, which is pretty cool, I guess. We need a new type. I'm not sure I would have called it Fairy, but, you know, I'm not complaining. It's immune to dragons. You can call it whatever you want. So, yeah. Definitely, that is the reason why every metagame team in Gen 6 should have a fairy type on it. Because it just stops dragon-type sweepers dead in their tracks. It's amazing. So, yeah. The only thing I disagree with is the half effectiveness on fire, because that means that Heatron just laughs at fairy types. And Heatron's already been overpowered as crap. That's it. Not fire types as a whole, but really just Heatron always causes problems. They should have made something that answers to Heatron from this generation, but fairy types are not that thing. So anyways, if we look down here, we can see all the Pokemon that are now fairy type. A lot of old ones got retyped to fairy, as you can see here. Clefable, Wigglytuff, Mr. Mime. I don't think anyone uses Mr. Mime. I've never seen a Mr. Mime in a competitive match. Azumarill, who is definitely going to see a lot more use with that dragon immunity now, since it already has huge power, which doubles its attack. You have no idea how overpowered that can get. And we've also got Grand Bull, another thing you never see in competitive matches. Gardevoir and Mega Gardevoir. Gardevoir is likely to see a lot more use, because Mega Gardevoir is extremely powerful, as you guys saw in my first X and Y metagame vid. And also Mawile is going to see a lot more use. I am really mad that they didn't Mega Evolve. I mean, not that they didn't Mega Evolve. They didn't give Mawile a real evolution. Mawile needed a real evolution, and they didn't give it one. Although it does get huge power as a Mega, which I didn't even register until now, which is probably why it was so powerful when I faced it, because it gets doubled attack. That's actually not bad. So yeah, Mawile's definitely going to see a lot more use, although it still is my opinion that it should have gotten a legitimate evolution. along with Absol. They both needed evolutions, and they got Mega Evolutions, which is kind of like halfway there, I guess, Nintendo. You're halfway to doing something correct. Good job. You know, I conceived of something similar to Mega Evolution when I was 10 years old. Like, oh, hey, wouldn't it be fun to have, like, what did I call them? Ultimate Evolutions of starters when you give them a certain item? I just had it for, like, starters and other 3-stage things. But Nintendo's like, nope, we're gonna do it for 2-stage and 1-stage things, too. And it's like, no, Nintendo, come on. You should have at least done it for 2 or 3-stage, never any 1-stage. That should not have been allowed. For shame. So anyway, Togekiss gets retyped to Fairy, which is really good because now it gets some new toys to play with in the form of, like, Dazzling Gleam, I think it gets. I'm not about to switch. I can't open a new tab without Fraps stopping recording for some stupid reason. Anyway, what else have we got? We've got Whimsicott. That's the only Gen 5 Pokemon that got retyped to Fairy. Which is awesome, because Prankster Whimsicott can now come in on Dragon types and proceed to wreak havoc with its Prankster shenanigans. What else have we got? We've got Florges, which functions really well as a mono attacker. It's one of the new ones. Looks like a flower. It's really creepy looking, actually. Should have been Grass Fairy type, but, you know, these two should have been Pure Fairy, and then Florges should have been Grass Fairy, but Nintendo doesn't always make sense. So, yeah, if you want to use a Florges, I would recommend running Recover, Calm Mind, Moonblast, and Aromatherapy. It's really good with that set. I've played with it a few times. Aromatize I can't speak for because I haven't used it. Slurpuff, you guys saw in the second X and Y metagame battle how overpowered that thing can get in doubles. Because it gets unburdened in the dream world, and that can just be really crazy, really quickly. It's hilarious. Sylveon, the new evolution, I also haven't used. I don't know why I haven't tried it yet, but maybe I'll do that in the next video. I'll find a way to run a Sylveon set. Dennis, the new Pikachu ripoff, that thing's also a fairy type. What to say about that one? I don't know. Early game, it can be so powerful, it's hilarious. Because the guaranteed paralysis is just so overpowered when you first encounter it. It defeated my friend Dan's entire team that was higher level than it, just by using Nuzzle and then a bunch of parabolic charges. He then caught it, and then it used a parabolic charge to take out an entire horde battle of Nidorans, and it was hilarious. Carbink, I haven't used. Klefki, if you guys watched my first metagame video, you can see how awesome it is as a prankster dual screener. And Xerneas, obviously, the new legendary. Geomancy is the most OP setup move ever conceived. That'll be down here. And here are the attacks. Charm got retyped to Fairy. I think that's the only one of all the old attacks that got retyped. Oh, Moonlight did as well. I don't know. Just come on, Nintendo. There should have been a few attack retypes. Likewise, there should have been a sound type, because they already have sound type attacks. But, you know, Nintendo's just... Nintendo! I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to turn into a rant about Nintendo's stupidity. It just kinda happens. Whenever you try to review something Nintendo does, you invariably end up at their stupidity for not doing certain things that should have been done. So, yeah. Aromatic Mist raises everybody's special defense in double battles, or triple battles, which is fun, I guess. I don't even know. Baby Doll Eyes. It's a priority move. It's a priority growl. That is literally what that is. It's priority growl. That's just so stupid. Charm, we all know what that is. Harshly lowering of the attack stat. Crafty Shield. This one's good in like triple battles or double battles. I mean, it would be interesting in a triple battle to have something with Crafty Shield and Mat. We'll have one Pokemon with Crafty Shield and one with Mat Block. Because then they could just totally protect some Pokemon in the center while it sets up. Oh my god, they should do that with Slurpuff. Yes. Smogon, make a triple battle tier so I can do that, please. Dazzling Gleam is one of the staple fairy type attacks. The only better one is like Moonblast. Play Rough can be good, but it's... I don't know. It's mediocre. There aren't that many physical attacking fairy types. I guess... I'm not sure if Mawile gets it. If it does, then it's really good on Mega Mawile, but probably not on much else. Azumarill, possibly. And Moonblast is the most powerful fairy type move, which is still kind of mediocre. They should have made like a pseudo Fire Blast or pseudo Blizzard or whatever for fairy type, but they did not. So Moonblast, most powerful fairy type move. Remember that. Anyway, where were we? I feel like we skipped around a bit. Disarming Voice. Emotional damage. It's basically fairy type quick attack. That's it. Draining Kiss is interesting because it is a draining move, and it's actually really good because it recovers more than half the damage. So even though its base power is meh, it gives you a lot of HP recovery. Especially if you have some special attack boosts. Fairy Lock, I guess, keeps everything... It's basically like a one-turn block for everything on the battlefield. I'm not sure if it includes the user, I've never seen it used yet. Fairy Wind is just a boring stab move that should never see any competitive use. Flower Shield is... Logic, fairy type move helping grass types. I think just Florges gets it. Florges, once again, should have been a grass type. Geomancy, this is Xerneas' signature move, and it is OP'd as crap. Look at that. It gets sharp boosts. It gets 2 Calm Minds and an Agility in one turn. That is phenomenal. Absolutely. Xerneas is going to see a lot of use in Ubers this generation. Because it can answer to all the Dragon-type Ubers, and it gets this awesome setup move. If you just pair it with Protect, it just can set up all day. Misty Terrain protects everything on the ground from status conditions. If it applies to your enemy as well, I would not recommend using it. Yeah, we already went over Moonblast. Moonlight's an old one. It recovers HP based on the weather. Oh, hey, Sweet Kiss is also retyped. Good. I feel like Lovely Kiss should have been retyped too. I don't think it was, but... So yeah, I think that's about it. Arceus Pixie Plate. That's fun. So I think that's about it for the fairy type. I hope you guys found this a little bit informative. All the new Pokemon of the fairy type, and attacks, and everything else. And once again, here's the table if you weren't listening at the beginning. Take note of that. That's going to help you a lot if you try to play Gen 6 metagame, or just Gen 6 in general. So yeah, there you go. You guys asked, there's your answer. That is what the fairy type is. And with that, I suppose I'll